Thank you to Tony for accepting me to make this presentation. So first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Redouane Aouameur. I'm 40 years old and I'm from Algeria. And I played in many bands since 25 years now. And actually, I play in the band, the death metal band Lelahell. Lelahell, what is Lelahell? What does it mean? Lelahell is an angel, a zodiac angel from the zodiac sign, and it appeals to it exerts its dominion over laws and many things, and art also. So I added an L to the end because Lelahell is right in one L at the end. And because also there is an Italian band who called, a rock Italian band who called Lelahell, so I did the L, and also to make a gameplay for the word hell, like an angel coming from hell. Lelahell, the band. Lelahell is an Algerian death metal band. I founded in 2010. And we have made many shows, and we have played many tours in Europe. We have also 2 releases, and our new album is actually in the mixing process. So it will be released maybe in 2 or 3 months. And we have also many projects for the future. Now let's talk about this documentary called Highway to Lelahell. Why many people asked me why did I make this documentary. The reason is I wanted to make first a documentary about the Algerian metal scene, to show the world how it was difficult to play metal during those years. But I realized that making such documentaries is a tons of work, so I decided to make just a better version of that documentary, to talking about all my bands and all my career, and to resume it in 52 minutes. And also to open the way for other person. There's actually a friend who is making a documentary about the whole Algerian, the history of the whole Algerian metal scene. What's included, it's, as I said before, it's 52 minutes documentary talking about the previous band that I played with, as you have seen in those highlights, the 15 minutes. And also talking about the difficulties that we had to play metal during that period. And as you have to know that Algeria suffered from terrorism, and we had some Islamist fundamentalists during the 90s, and but this we were playing metal in that period, you know. So I have some frequently asked questions. I selected 3 questions that always people asked me about. Is there a metal scene in Algeria? Many people asked me about that. I can see yes or no. Yes, because there are always bands and playing metal. There are fans. There are people who like metal. There are very few concerts. And now we say no because there are many problems. There are many problems. There's problems. This is. Yes. Yes. What are the biggest the second question? What are the biggest factors keeping metal down in our local scene? I think one of the major problems is the lack of venues. I mean that bands form themselves, but they don't have place to play music, to play metal, because also people asked me why you don't open your own venues. It's really difficult because in Algeria the culture is directed by the government, by the ministry, you know. So if you have to make a concert or to make something, you have to ask the authorization of the authority. So if you open, it's not forbidden. If you open a venue, you will have a tons of problem, like a lot of taxes, a lot of police, and all the other things. So I think it's the major problem that keeping metal down in our local scene. Also the cost of life, also for musicians to play, to have such equipments. It costs a lot of money to buy an amplifier. For example, a good tube amplifier is like 1,000 euros. 1,000 euros represent 1 year of average salary in Algeria. Also, the third question that I selected: is it safe to play metal in Algeria? As I said before, we had some in Algeria. We had some troubles with terrorists, fundamentalists in the 90s, but we never had a direct problem as musicians. We never had like menaces or like letters or something like that. We just had 2 years later from a TV that made a stupid documentary about about some local bands, and said that we are Satanists, and we are, and one of the reasons also to make after that I made this documentary to show also to the local media that we are not Satanists. We love music, and we do that for music. So this contacts if you want to add us, and that's all. We have some. I have bringing some merchandising also if you want to support the Algerian metal scene. And thank you.
Yeah, this is so great. Yeah, please support. Redouane, any less frequent questions from the audience before the break? Is it low frequency questions then? Yeah, Dan.
I'm just interested in what language you're writing your songs in, singing in.
We sing in English. We have used many languages. We used the two main languages are the Arabic and the English. We also have one song in French, just one part in Spanish, and from the new album we have also a part in German.
I was wondering if I mean, Algeria is of course quite different from your neighboring Tunisia, for example, but could you have anything to say about how the so-called Arab Spring has affected the metal scene? Has it affected the metal scene in Algeria, or do you know how it has affected the metal scene in the neighboring countries in North Africa?
To be honest, it hasn't affected directly.